Oh. So yes. We are done with the steps required for writing the JDBC program. Okay. Suppose if you want to write a JDBC program, I told that there are some steps we need to follow. Right? There are some steps we need to follow. The same steps are required to perform any operation on the database. Right. So these are the steps that we have discussed about. First, load the JDBC driver, then obtain a connection with the database. Okay, then create a statement object. Then you can execute your SQL queries. Then you can process the result. After that, you can able to close the database connection. Okay, right. Now, coming to examples. See, we want to start writing. Okay, we want to start writing the one by one JDBC application. Okay, we want to connect our Java application with the database. We want to connect our Java application with the database, and we want to perform some database operations. Okay, we want to perform some database operations. See, what is our requirement? Our requirement is today we want to create one JDBC program. JDBC program is nothing but Java program only. Na? We want to write a Java program and we want to connect our Java program with the database. Okay, let's see. We want to connect our Java program with a database now. Okay, so we are going to connect our Java program with the Oracle database. We are going to connect our Java program with the Oracle database. Okay, we are going to write a Java program to connect with Oracle database. Okay, for what purpose we are connecting our Java program with Oracle database today? Because we want to perform some operations on the data. We want to perform some operations means we will do one thing. First example, we are writing to create a new table in the database. In the first example, we want to create a new table in the database. In the database, I want to create one new table. Let's say in the database, I want to create a one new table. Okay, I want to create a new table in the database. Let's say I want to create one new table. Could be any table. Let's say the table name is customer. Okay, so I want to create one new table in the database or the database table name customer. I want to create a new table in database called customer with columns like customer ID, ID of the customer, name of the customer, email of the customer, and phone number of the customer. This is a table I want to create in the database. Actually, mostly, I'm talking mostly, tables in the database are not created by Java programs. Mostly, I'm talking. Mostly, table creations will be taken care by the DB designer, I mean database designer. Database designer will take care of creating the database tables, creating the constraints for the columns like primary key constraint, foreign key constraint, not null constraint, unique constraint, check constraint, default constraint. all whatever the constraints are required. Okay, table design, columns design, applying the constraints on the columns. These are all will be generally done by database designer, DB designer for the real time. Okay. For example, if you are going to work with Hibernate or Spring JPA, then Hibernate will automatically generate the record tables. Means you are not going to create the tables mostly, manually. Manually, you are not going to create the tables in the database. But we are just only learning JDBC technology. So that the very first program we want to write today. And our first program is for what purpose? Our program should create one table in the database. After that, our next program will insert some records into the table. Once the records are inserted into the table, then we can identify how to select the records from the table. Means we are going to write our application to perform CRUD operations on the database. Okay, CRUD operations means we want to insert the records, we want to read the records, we want to update the records, and finally we want to delete the records. In shortcut, we are calling it as what operations? CRUD operations. Okay, but if I want to perform the CRUD operations, first what should I do? I need one table. I have two options. I can create a table manually by myself by executing SQL command from SQL plus. You type one query to create a table with columns. Then write Java program, then perform, insert, update, delete, and select operations. Second option is what? From Java program only, you create the table. So today what I am doing? I am creating a new table, but I am creating the table from my Java program only. So we are adding the JDBC program to create the table in the database first. That's the first program we are writing. The very first program that we are writing. Okay. By following the steps. Who is our database here? Oracle is our database. Oracle is our database. Okay. Hope you guys are already having Oracle in your system. Okay. After executing some one or two programs, then we are also going to write the Java program to connect with MySQL database. So currently we are connecting with which database only? Oracle database. Then next we are going to connect with MySQL database. And we are going to write our programs on Eclipse IDE. So we are going to start Eclipse and we are going to start writing our JDBC programs. Okay, right. See, we are going to start Eclipse. Okay, we are going to create one new table by writing the JDBC program. Okay, make sure that Oracle database is installed in your computer. If not, at least MySQL database is installed in your computer. You can use any one database, either Oracle database or you can use MySQL database. Only first 1-2 programs I'm going to give you on Oracle. Next, all the remaining programs I'll give you on MySQL. Good. I'll do one thing. I'm just creating one new workspace. Okay, I'm just creating one new workspace. Now let's understand. Okay, now we are going to look at and try to understand this. See here, our requirement is what? Our requirement is we want to create one new Java project. We are creating what type of project? On new Java project. Okay. I want to create project name as JDBC application 1. JDBC application 1. So I will uncheck this module info.java file, which is not required. Next, we are going to, first I am going to uncheck this box. Then next I am going to click on next. Then I am going to click on finish. Open. Okay. So I'm done. Okay. If you wait for a minute, I will increase the font size. So that we can able to see the code. You can also see the project name somewhat better. Okay. Now you can able to see the project name clearly. JDBC application 1. Okay. JDBC application 1. Okay. I'll also increase the font size for content. For the code, whatever I'm typing, just to make the code visible to you clearly, I'm increasing the font size. Okay, I'm done. So tell me, there is one project created called what? JDBC application 1. Okay, right. Now, whenever you create any Java project, JDBC project means Java project only. Now tell me, once you create the Java project, then there is a folder created called what? Source folder. Now you are going to right click on the source folder and you guys are going to create a new class. New class. Let's say my new class, and of course I want to give some package name called com.example. Tell me what is the package name? Com.example. That's my package name, com.example. And I want to enter what now? Class name here. That's called my program name. Let's say my program is create a table. Check the main checkbox. Now here, okay. What is the purpose of this program? This program is for what reason we are creating this program? We want to create a table in the database. Sure, we'll create. But if at all I want to create a table in database, I told in the last class there are some steps we need to follow. They are called steps to write the JDBC program. How many steps I need to follow? 6 steps I need to follow. Out of 6, actually, first step is optional. Okay, loading the JDBC driver is optional. But still, since it's a first application, I'm writing it. For further applications, I will avoid that. Okay. Now, what is step 1 of writing the JDBC program? Step 1, you should load the driver class. Load the JDBC driver. Okay. My question, to which database I'm connecting? Oracle database I'm connecting. To Oracle database I'm connecting. So tell me, to connect with Oracle database, which driver I need to load is Oracle driver. Yes, we have separate drivers for Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, DB2 like that. We don't have one common driver because which category of drivers we are going to use? Type 4. Which type of drivers we are going to use? Only type 4. Type 4 drivers we will use. Good, good. So we know type 4 drivers are database dependent. We need separate driver for each database. Yes, yes. Tell me, class dot per name. We should specify the fully qualified class name. What I should specify? Fully qualified class name of driver. So this is the Oracle driver class name. Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. O capital, D capital, it's a class name. It is a class name. So whenever I'm typing class dot for name of Oracle dot JDBs dot driver dot Oracle driver, I immediately got one error at line number 8. You can see that I got one error. My error is at line number 8 here, right? So I got error at line number 8. And we need to identify for what reason we got this error. For what reason we got this error at line number 8. Okay, for what reason we got the error at line number 8. Actually, we got the error at line number 8 because whenever we call class dot for name method, this for name method throws class not found exception. This method throws what exception? Class not found exception. Class not found exception is a checked exception. Class not found exception is a checked exception. If it is a checked exception, if that exception type is checked exception, then we must handle that exception by keeping the code in try catch blocks. Or else, another option, we can also declare it using throws keyword. We can also declare it using which keyword? Throws keyword. Throws keyword. Okay, throws keyword. Now what I'm doing here, I'm going to main public static void main. I'm not writing try catch blocks for today. For the next example, today I will write, but from the next application. Okay. Now to make it simple, throws what I'm writing? Class not found exception. Okay, you can see this. By writing throws class not found exception, error from line number 8 is removed now. I don't have an error at line number 8 now. It's removed. So tell me why I got error previously? Why I got an error here previously at line number 8? Because this method, which method? For name. This for name method throws which exception? Class not found exception. Class not found exception. Tell me, if any method is throwing an exception, if it is a checked exception, then we must handle it by using try catch blocks. Otherwise, we must declare it using throws keyword, or we should propagate it using throws keyword. This is called exception propagation. The concept name is called what? Exception propagation. In Java, suppose you have a method. Suppose that method, suppose there is a chance of getting a method, sorry, suppose there is a chance of getting an exception from that method. Then the exception can be handled in that
Your
method
voice is
only.
getting echo, sir.
That exception can be handled in that method only by keeping the code in what blocks? Try and catch. Second option available is what? Second option is you can also propagate that exception from that method to its caller method. From that method, you can propagate the exception to the caller method. So if I want to propagate the exception from the current method to its caller method, then which keyword I have to use? Throws keyword. Which keyword I have to use now? Throws keyword. So what is the purpose of throws keyword? Throws keyword is used to propagate an exception from this current method to its caller method. Tell me, who is this method here? Current method. Who is the current method here? For name method throws exception. Right. Who is the current method here? In which method I have this statement called class dot for name? Main method. Tell me. Okay, current method is main method. I can handle the exception in the current method by using what blocks? Try and catch. I can write the try block. I can add the catch block. I can handle the exception here. Otherwise, I can also propagate the exception from this current method to its caller. Now tell me, who is the caller method of JVM? Who is the caller method of main? JVM. Throws means if a main method throws exception, the exception goes to JVM. If any exception goes to JVM, in JVM, there is one exception handler. One default exception handler component is there in JVM. That will first immediately terminate the program. It will terminate the program and then it is going to print exception details. That is also called as stack trace of the exception. What trace of the exception? Stack trace of the exception. This is all called as knowledge of exception handling. So I already told you, the exception handling knowledge is also required along with OOPS. Okay, right? Good. Listen here. Everyone, then only you can able to understand clearly about the JDBC sessions or even servlet or JSP also. Okay, good. So tell me, no problem. Tell me. Now, I just only for confirmation, I am writing a message called JDBC driver is loaded. Step 2. Step 2. Hope you guys are getting the concept now. Hope you guys are getting the concept now. Okay, done. Okay, done. Just a minute. Okay, observe here. Guys, step 1 is what? Load the JDBC driver. What about step 2? Yes, step 2 is obtain a connection or open a connection with a database.
Establish a connection.
Okay, open a connection with a database. You want to open a connection with a database. Right. You know, to obtain or open a connection with a database, your program has to call one method. That method name is called get connection. What's the method name? Get connection. Get connection. But when I call get connection method, I should provide 3 parameters. Yes, I need to pass the database URL, then username, then password. Okay, I'll provide that. Look at this. Connection, reference variable CONN equal to driver manager dot get connection. Okay, driver manager dot what? Get connection. Tell me how many parameters I should provide? 3. First one is what? URL. I told yesterday URL. JDBC : Oracle : Understand the URL now. We'll understand part by part. JDBC indicates this Java application is using a technology called JDBC or API called JDBC. Okay. It is telling that this Java application is using which API? JDBC API or JDBC technology. To which database it is connecting? Oracle. That's why JDBC : Oracle. Java application using JDBC technology and connecting with Oracle. But to connect with Oracle database or any database, one driver is required. Yes. Thin is the pure Java driver. Okay, pure Java driver of Oracle. Nothing but type 4 driver of Oracle. I told there are different type 4 drivers are there for each database. What is the name of the type 4 driver for Oracle? Its name is called thin driver. Why it is called thin driver? Thick driver, thin driver, for example. Why it is called thin driver? Because yesterday I told you, these type 4 drivers, they directly speak to the database directly in their own language. They don't use any other one support. They don't require any libraries. or they don't require any mediator support again. That's why this is called what driver given? Thin driver. For the name given by Oracle for the driver, thin driver. So what is thin? Thin is the driver name. Oracle is the database name. Database name is Oracle. JDBC is API. Okay, Java application is connecting to the database with this URL. In the URL, first part is what? JDBC. JDBC tells that what? It is the API. API or technology. Second, to which database it is connecting? Oracle database. So Oracle. If it is a MySQL, JDBC : MySQL. If it is a PostgreSQL, JDBC : PostgreSQL. If it is SQL server, JDBC : SQL server. If it is a DB2 database, JDBC : DB2. All the URLs will start like that only. So tell me, JDBC : what next? Oracle. Means to which database it is connecting? Oracle. Using which driver? A type of the driver called thin. It is a thin driver for Oracle. Why? Because it is pure Java driver and it doesn't require any libraries or other driver support. It can directly talk to the database. That's why it is called what type of driver they have given? Thin. Their driver name is thin. Next, : host. Location. Where is the database? Location of the database. Where is the database? In my local computer. If it is there in my local computer, then I should write what? Localhost. Localhost meaning the location of the database. Tell me, where is the database? The database is installed in my local computer. If it is there in my own computer, it is there in your own computer, then tell me what the host you should type? @localhost. If it is there in other system, somewhere in the internet, then you should specify IP address. What address? IP address of that machine. Are you able to follow me? IP address of that machine. Very good. That's what the meaning of it. So @localhost. Next, : okay, : next you'll understand. Guys, yeah. So guys, let's go ahead now. We'll understand very easily. You'll get everything. So tell me, in the URL, so far we have discussed. Okay, we are done. Tell me, so far we discussed about up to localhost. Okay. Now tell me, localhost meaning your own system. The location of the host of the database. Host means system. In which system database is running? I am connecting to local system database only. That's why what I am typing? Localhost I am typing. Next, 1521. This is the Oracle listener port number for connections. Oracle contains many port numbers. Different port numbers are there for Oracle. Different services are going to run on different ports. Okay, what is 1521? 1521 is the Oracle's listener port for connections. Means what? At this port, you can get the connection with Oracle. It is a listener. It will listen for the connection at this port. Or the port number 1521. What is 1521? Oracle listener port for connection. We want connection only, no? Right. Tell me to get the connection. Okay, at which port Oracle listen and give the connection? At port number 1521. 1521. Colon, you should specify database name. What name? Database name. Database name or schema name. You may have a doubt here. Oracle is called a database name. Again, what is the database name? One more time. 99.9999% the students does not understand this. Oracle is what? Database name. Students will know Oracle is a database. MySQL is a database. Actually, they are not databases. Oracle is a database server. Oracle is a database server. MySQL is another database server. Okay. Are you able to get my point now? Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, DB2, these are all called as a database servers. Okay, we use generally shortcut word database, but actually they are called what? Database servers. They can maintain logically one or more databases. Okay, one database server can maintain multiple logical databases. Okay, so try to understand this. See, what I am trying to say. Take Oracle. Actually, Oracle we are calling as database, right? But actually, it is what? It's a server. We are calling MySQL database, right? But actually, what is MySQL? It is a database server. What one database server can do? One database server can maintain one or more. One database server can maintain one or more logical databases. This is logical DB1. This is logical DB2. Okay, right. Now tell me, one database server can maintain one or more logical databases. Okay, take MySQL. Here also same thing. Logical database 1. This logical database has another name called schema. Database terminology. Logical database 3. Okay, you understand clearly now. Tell me, Oracle and MySQL both are called what? Database servers. One database server can maintain what? One database server can maintain one or more logical databases. One or more logical databases. Okay. Whenever we install Oracle database server, one logical database is automatically created. How many created? One. If you want more than one, you have the commands. Create database commands are available. By using that, you can able to create one more logical database. But minimum how many logical databases are created whenever you install the database server? One. In Oracle, that logical database name is either XE or ORCL. What are what? Either XE or ORCL. ORCL. Its name is what? Once again, I repeat, either XE or ORCL. Very good. If your database server is Express Edition, what edition? Express Edition. Then logical database created will be XE. If your Oracle is Enterprise Edition, which one? Enterprise Edition. Then tell me what is a logical database automatically created? ORCL. ORCL. My system contains Express Edition. Then tell me what is the one logical database which is automatically created? XE. XE. Then tell me to which database, to which logical database I want to connect from my program? XE. What this logical database maintains? Everything. Your tables, your views, your sequences, your synonyms, your procedures, functions, triggers, whatever you know, database objects. So who will maintain all your database objects, like the different tables you are creating, different views you are creating, different sequences you are creating, different synonyms you are creating, or different procedures you are creating, triggers you are creating, where all these objects are maintained? All these objects are maintained in a logical database. Then tell me, what is the name of the logical database if I install Express Edition? XE. What is the name of the logical database created whenever I install Enterprise Edition? ORCL. Now tell me, did you guys understand the concept now? Now tell me, in my system I told you I have Oracle Express Edition. Okay, right? Then tell me, what is my logical database name by default created? XE. I no need to think, simply XE. We can't change the name also, by default created. Now understand the URL? Yes, you understand the URL? Tell me. You understand the URL? JDBC : JDBC means the name of the API or the technology that this Java program is using. Tell me, the Java program is using which technology? JDBC. Using this technology, to which database it is connecting? Oracle. Using which driver? Thin driver. The name given by Oracle for their driver software is Thin. Okay, their software name is Thin. Why they given the name called Thin? Because it is a pure Java driver. It directly connects to database by speaking in their own language. That's why the name given as Thin. What is @localhost? @localhost means location of the database. Location of the database. That's called host. What is 1521? 1521 is what number? Port number. Which port number? Oracle's listener port number for connection. It's a listener port number for connections.
Guys, don't interrupt in
connections.
Yes.
What is XE? XE is the XE is the logical database name. XE is the logical database name. Am I clear with you? Right. Okay, this is called URL. Next, username and password. At the time of installing, you will get one username and password as a admin user. Okay, for the server admin, the default username is system, default password is manager. But that password is expired. I have changed the password to Tiger. That's why I'm typing system Tiger. So what is the default username and password of admin? System Tiger. Again, there is an error at line number 15. Again, there is an error at line number 15. So why we got an error at line number 15? Again, same reason. Tell me, in line number 15, which method I'm calling? Get connection method I'm calling. Get connection method throws SQL exception. What exception? SQL exception. Means there is get connection method, which is predefined method. That method is propagating which exception? SQL exception. SQL exception also belongs to which category? Checked exception. SQL exception also comes under which category? Checked exception. You have checked and unchecked exceptions. You know the names like arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, number format exception, array index, out of bounds exception. These are all comes under what? Unchecked exceptions. These all comes under unchecked exceptions. But if you know class not found exception, file not found exception, SQL exception, interrupted exception, these are all comes under which category? Checked exception. Okay, good. Tell me why I am getting error at line number 15. Again, this get connection method throws what? SQL exception. SQL exception belongs to which category? Checked exception. So tell me, if this method propagates a checked exception to this caller method, this caller method has to handle it, or else this caller method also can propagate the exception to its caller. Its caller method. Who is its caller method? JVM. Tell me how to propagate to its caller. Throws. Class not found exception, comma, SQL exception. SQL exception is from java.sql package. What's the package name of all these things? Java.sql. Java.sql.connection. Java.sql.driver manager. Java.sql.sql exception. So what is the package of JDBC API? What is the package name of JDBC? Java.sql. What's the name? Java. Java.sql. Further, you are also going to learn javax.sql. What is the name? javax.sql. Okay, good. Come to the point. Okay. Further, you are going to see that recently JavaX is renamed to Jakarta. So that's why you are going to see next Jakarta.sql. Good. Tell me system.out.println. What should I write here? I should write connection is open. Yes. Connection is created. Created, opened, anything. Your wish, what statement that you want to write. Okay. Step 2. Step 3. Step 3. Okay. First step is what? Load the driver. Second step is what? Open a connection with a database. Once open connection is open, next we should send queries, right? But I told you to send the query, first my Java program should send this query to driver. Then driver will execute this query on database, right? Very good. To send my query to the driver, I should use one object. Which object I have to use to send my query from my Java application to the JDBC driver? Statement object. What object? Statement object. So create statement object. So how to create a statement object? Statement stmt is equal to conn dot create statement. We are done. So tell me, currently what is happened, guys? Driver is loaded, connection is opened with the database, statement object is created. We wanted one SOP statement saying that what? Statement object is created. Step 4. What is step 4 now? Execute the SQL query. I want to execute one query only. Let's say SQL query. Which query I want to execute now? Create table. Okay, let me do one thing. String. I want to store my query in a string variable. String query is equal to create table. Who is my table name? Customer. Who is my table name? Customer. Customer. Now, tell me. In customer table, I want to create columns called ID, name, email, phone. How many columns I want to create? 4 columns. For the first column, ID. ID is a number. ID is a number. It's a primary key. It is what type of key? Primary key. Yes. Next, I'll write the methods next. First, I want to prepare my query. Okay. So tell me, first one is what? ID. Next one, name. Varchar 2 of 20. Of 20. Next. Just I'm writing my query in multiple lines. Tell me. First column is ID. Second column is name. Third column is email. Varchar 2 of 40. Or the next one? Phone number. Phone, simply. Phone. Phone is a number of 10. Right? Number of 10. That's it. Then I say close the brace. So I'm creating one query now. Create a table query. What's the table name? Customer. And what are the columns in the customer table? ID, name, email, phone number, their data types, and who is the primary key? ID. Customer ID is primary key. Done. Next step. If you are executing this query from SQL plus directly, then what you will use? ఇక్కడ అవసరం లేదు. See, ఇది SQL plus, right? You got SQL from, you are learning Oracle commands like this only. At SQL prompt you are typing. What you will type here? Create table, then table name, then you are writing column 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. Semicolon. This semicolon is required to terminate this command in SQL plus. This is not syntax. This semicolon is to terminate the line, this command line. Are you able to follow me? But now tell me, we are executing from Java. So then the semicolon is not required here. Okay, right? Because semicolon is not a command. Semicolon is only termination, line termination or command termination SQL plus. Okay, right. Yes, yes. Dot is printed. Thank you. Comma. Right, you are right. Step 4. We are done with step 4. Not done, but query is completed. Now I told in the last session, there are 2 methods available. Who are the 2 methods available? There are 2 methods available. One method is given to execute non-select operations. Another method is given to execute select operation. Tell me, this is non-select operation or a select operation? It's a non-select operation. Then there is a method provided called execute update. What is it? Execute update. Yes. STMT dot execute update of query. Guys, understand this. Okay, I have a question to you. I told already yesterday. What I told yesterday? execute update method returns integer value. That integer tells how many rows are affected because of this command. Are you able to follow me? I repeat once again. Execute update method returns what? Execute update method returns an integer which indicates how many rows are affected because of this command. Execute update method returns an integer which indicates how many rows are affected because of this command. Tell me, who is my command here? Okay, query is a variable. What is there in this variable? What is the value in this variable query? Create a table command. My question, if create a table command is executed in the database, okay, if create a table command is executed in the database, then tell me how many rows are affected? Answer is what? How many rows are affected? Even, not zero, -1. Zero also result only. 0 rows deleted. When you are executing a delete command, you are sometimes are going to 0 rows deleted. 0 also valid number. But result is what here? -1. -1. Why -1? Because this command is which command? Create table. Create a table command, if I execute, any rows are affected in the database? No rows are affected. Table created, that's it. But no rows are affected. Na? For the result now, -1. If you want, you can store in one variable, integer variable, otherwise leave it. Suppose my query is alter command. Tell me. Alter command. How many rows are affected? 0. Actually not 0, sorry, -1. Alter command does not affect the rows. Alter command is to modify the structure of the table. You can add the new column, or you can drop the existing column, or you can add a new constraint, or you can drop the constraint. To add the columns, drop the columns, add the constraints, drop the constraints, which command you are going to use? Alter command. Because of alter command, how many rows are affected in the database? -1. -1. Understand clearly? Everybody understand clearly? Then tell me, whenever I call execute update method, it returns what? Integer value. Okay, tell me, before stmt, can I write here int I is equal to? Yes. What is the value of I now? -1. But I don't want that -1. That's why I'm not writing. Is it compulsory to store the result in a variable? You call the method. Suppose method is returning some value, but you don't want that value. If you don't want that value, then no need to store in a variable. You are unnecessarily wasting a memory. Right? System.out.println table is created. Okay, sir, how can you guarantee? Suppose if there is any problem with this query, I'll get exception. What I'll get? Exception will be thrown from the statement. If exception is thrown from the statement, the next statement will be executed or not executed? Not executed. You know, if line number 14 has exception. Line 15 cannot be executed. You know exception handling topic already? Yes. Now, line 15 executed means what? There is no exception up to line number 14. Hope you guys are getting my point. Yes. Good. Tell me. Step number 5. I don't have any result to process. Otherwise, I will make it as this as a step 5. Okay. Just display the output. That's the processing. Next one is close the connection. Close the connection. Tell me, how can I able to close the connection? Connection dot close. Okay, I'll tell you. You know, statement object is created. Statement object is also created after connection. After connection is created, next what object is created? Statement object also. So we can close that one also. It is also closable object. I'll tell you the difference. What happens? I'll talk separately about a concept called memory leak. I told, I think, even yesterday also. Okay. I'll talk about a concept called memory leak. During that time, I'll explain about what happens if I don't close the statement object. What happens if I don't close connection object? When should I compulsory close them? When should I make it optional? These kind of things you will learn in a concept called as memory leak issue in JDBC. So there we'll understand that. But as of now, we follow the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. Now, my Java program is ready. Now I can run this program. If I run this program, I will get exception. What exception I will get? Class not found exception. Which class not found exception? Oracle driver class not found exception. Okay, good. I told already. That's what our yesterday session, day before yesterday session. Okay. JDBC is a specification, but the specification does not contain the implementation for the interfaces. Who provides implementation for these interfaces in JDBC? Database vendors. That software is called what? Driver software. What is it? Driver software. Then tell me that a driver software is provided like a jar file. The driver software is provided as a jar, J-A-R, jar file. Okay, right? Now, understand clearly. Okay, right? Tell me, my Java application can directly talk to the database, or in the middle, driver is also required? Driver is also required. Without a driver, my Java program cannot talk to the database directly. Yes. Tell me, these drivers are available like a jar file software. That jar file you need to add to the class path. You have the project. For this project, you should add the jar as a class path. Whose jar? That driver jar. Whose jar? Oracle driver jar. Okay, Oracle driver jar. We should add like a class path. See, first let me show you. I will run this application, guys. Online people, try to understand the program. See the output now. What exception? Class not found exception. Oracle.jdbc.driver. What? Oracle driver. Okay, we got exception here. Yes. Okay. When we will get a class not found exception?
If there is no class.
See, I am executing Java project or Java program. I am executing Java program. Okay, understand clearly. I am executing what one? Java program. This Java program is using a class. I am executing a Java program. This Java program is using a class, but this class is not available at the class path. But this class is not available at the class path. Okay, understand clearly. When I'm executing a Java program, if the Java program is using a class, but that class is not available at what? Class path. Then this exception will be thrown. Which exception will be thrown? Class not found exception will be thrown like this. I repeat. Then this exception will be thrown. I'm highlighting it with a thick border. When this exception will be thrown? You are executing a program. Your program is already using a class, but that class is not available at the class path. That class is not available in the class path. Okay, good. If my program is using any classes, in my program, if any classes I'm using, if all these classes are available in class path, then only this program will execute. Otherwise, it will throw class not found exception. So we may have a doubt. Sir, I'm using driver manager class also. Which manager is there? This program using driver manager. This program using connection. This program using statement. This program using a class called class. Class dot per name for statement. Then tell me, this program is already using what? Driver manager class it is using. Class it is using. Connection interface it is using. Statement interface also it is using. But why I am not getting errors for them? Why I am not getting class not found exception, driver manager? Because these are all from our Java API. These are all from which API? Java API. But what about Oracle driver class? Oracle driver class is from Java API or from database vendor API? Database vendor API. Because this is given by vendor, na? Yes. That's why we are getting this exception. Which exception? Class not found exception. Yes. Then what is the solution for this? Yes. Solution is what now? Solution. We should add the jar file of the driver software to the class path. Jar file of the driver software to the class path. I repeat. Tell me what the solution once again. We should add the jar file of the driver software to the class path. Then problem will be solved. I'll tell you how to add. If I want to add to the class path, first of all, I should know who is the jar file. Tell you the step how to add to the class path. That is not a big thing. But you should know who is the jar file. Let us find out. Let us find out. I'll show you that. I'll show you. right? Observe it, guys. Please try to understand this. Okay. In my system, in C drive, I have installed my Oracle database in C drive. And once you install Oracle 21C, the location will be like this. One folder is created called app. Another folder is created called Windows, product, 21C. Okay. In 21C, you go to database. No, in database, we don't find. Yeah. There is a folder called DB Home XE. You can find a subfolder called what? JDBC, lib. You can find one jar file here. Many jar files are there. But you need to add the jar file called OJDBC 11. Tell me, this is called a jar file only, no? Yes. Tell me what the name of the jar file? OJDBC 11. Where is it located? It is located at this location. This is a location, a big location. You guys need to remember it. Or search for OJDBC in your computer, find the location, you can add it. But remember the location otherwise. Tell me, according to my system, where is OJDBC 11 jar file? In C drive, there is a folder created called app. Inside that, another folder is Windows. Inside that, product. Inside that, 21C. Inside that, DB Home XE. Inside that, JDBC. Again inside that, lib. If you go there, you can see the file. What is the file name? OJDBC 11.jar. This one is a jar file. We need to add to the class path. How can I do that? I can do like this. Look at this. Right click on project name. Right click on what name? Project name. Who is your project? JDBC app application 1. Right click, build path. Can you see the option build path? Yes. For the build path, there is an option called build path. Configure build path. Last option. What the option name? Configure build path. And once you click on configure build path, next click on libraries tab. Can you see the libraries tab on top? Then can you see the class path? Click on class path. After clicking on class path, then click on add external jars. What's the button name? Add external jars. Tell me where is a jar? Go there. C, app, Windows, product, 21C, DB Home XE, JDBC, lib, OJDBC 11, open. Now just check once. This is a path. Yes. Then click on apply and close. Once again, I repeat this so that you can understand. How to add the class path? Right click, build path, configure build path, Libraries. First, I'll delete this. Tell me. Libraries tab. Choose class path. Add external jars. Click on that. Click on that. Go to C drive. App. Windows. Product. 21C. DB Home XE. JDBC. Lib. OJDBC 11. Apply. Apply and close. Done. Let us run this program. What is the meaning of this? Driver is loaded, connection is created, statement object is created, but I am getting name is already used by existing object, which means what? I have already a table in the database called customer, which is already there. That's why I'm getting this error. I'm getting exception, syntax error. Because can I create a new table also with the same name? Now, two tables we cannot create using single name. That's why we are getting exception. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll open SQL Plus. Okay, SQL Plus. What can I do here? I can say delete or drop table customer. Now the table is drop. I don't have a table called customer. I don't have a table called customer now. Right? If you want to check once. Select star from customer. What will you get answer? Table or view does not exist. With which name? Customer. In this way you can try. So I don't have customer now. Let us execute the program one more time. That's it. So what happened? First JDBC driver is loaded. Connection is created. Statement object is created. Table is created. Then connection is closed. How can you verify table is created or not created? This is Java program, right? But how can you cross verify really the customer table is created or not in the database? You can also connect to the database from SQL Plus. Okay. Go to SQL Plus. Describe DESC. Can you describe the table? Yes. Which table you want to describe? Customer. Describe the customer. It's created now? Yes, it's created. What are the columns? ID, name, email, phone. The first program is executed in JDBC. You have to remember so many things here. Okay, good. Listen to me. In the document, you will get this project name. In the document, you will get the project name. Next, you will also get the code. You will also get the code. So we are done. Tell me. Let's start with other example. Okay, now for the second example, I no need to explain all these things to you. I no need to explain all these things to you, right? Look at this. Everyone, understand it? Try to understand this. Guys, come back to the point here. My point is, table is created. What is our next step? We want to insert the record. We want to insert the record. Very good. Sure, we will insert the record. I'll tell you. In the next example, we are going to create two methods in our class. Main method we will create. Along with main, we'll also create another method. I repeat, we are going to create the main method, plus we are also going to create another method. How many methods we are going to create in our next example? Two methods. We want to change the code now. Two methods we are going to create. Right? I will create one more method called insert. Now this is my class, public class insert record. Tell me, one method is what? Public static void main. Okay, string args and all you write. Anyhow, in the code I will also write. Next, here I will call insert of ID, name, email address, phone number. Again, I will call insert of two comma b at yahoo.com comma phone number. Like this multiple times I'll call, 3-4 times I'll call. Okay. Now you tell me, this is main method. Inside the main, I'm calling one more method here. Who is the one more method? Insert method, which means I should create another method called insert here. Private static void insert parameters ID, name, email, phone. And here I will write the logic. Okay. Now tell me how many methods I'm going to create in my next program. Two methods I'm going to create. One method is main. Other method is insert. One method is main method. Another method name is insert. Insert. Tell me to the insert method, how many input arguments I'm going to provide? 4. ID of the customer, name of the customer, email ID of the customer, and phone number. This insert method will insert the record into table. If I'm calling this insert method 5 times here, for example, how many times I'm calling? 5 times I'm calling in main method. Then tell me how many records I'm inserting totally? 5 records I'm inserting. Into which table? Customer table. Am I clear with you? So then tell me in my next program, how many methods we are going to create? 2 methods we are going to create. Okay? Right. Let's start working with this. We'll complete in 5 minutes. Okay? We are done. Project name. JDBC application 2. Application 1 is for creating the table. Application 2 is for inserting the records. insert records. Folks in online, listen to the session clearly and understand. Okay. Okay. Observe here. I have two methods I'm going to create. One method is what? Main method. One more method also I'm going to create. Who is the one more method? Private static void insert int id string name string email int or long anything long phone. How many methods I am going to have in my class next? Two methods. Why I am making the second method also as a static method? Because already this main is what method? Static method. If I make my second method also a static method, I can directly call this method now without creating any object. Yes, because both are static methods. If the class contains two static methods, directly we can call one static method from other static method. That's why I'm doing that. Okay, good. Understand here. Understand. Insert of insert of 101. John is the name of the customer. John@gmail.com and some phone number 899 877 8661 or 8663 L, because long parameter, when you are passing the value to a long parameter input argument, then we must suffix with what? L. L represents a long type. The second customer name, James. This is 103. This is 104. This is 105. Understand the point clearly. Now, the names I want to change. John, James, Jeffrey. Email ID, james@gmail.com. Let's say phone number 99880 99776, something like that. Jeff@yahoo.com. Okay. 7990 66 772. Okay, right. Next. Jar. jar@gmail.com. Okay, right. 63044 58922. Okay, done. Okay, right. All J's only. Yahoo.com. Anything, something like this. Okay. Yahoo.com. Otherwise, Outlook.com. Okay, so tell me how many customers I want to insert totally? 5 customers I want to insert. This is the data. Now, where I am going to write all my JDBC logic like loading the driver, connection, statement, all these things? In the second method. Who's the second method? Insert. The second method I am going to write. Look at this. Step 1 is mandatory or optional? Step 2 onwards it's mandatory. But step 1 optional. I told even yesterday also. For standalone applications, it's optional. So I don't want to write step 1. I will continue from step 2. Next, I'll keep my code in try and catch blocks. Try. Okay. My code will complete. It's not a problem. Okay. I don't want to write any statement like step like that. But you can understand. Connection is created. Statement object is created. Query. Which query I want? Insert query, not create table. Which query now? Insert query. So string query is equal to insert into for the table name customer values of what values I need to insert? ID, name, email, phone. 4 columns na? Yes. Tell me ID is in ID variable. Where is ID? In the ID variable. Name is in name variable. Email is in email variable. Phone number is in phone number variable. Try, can you understand my query? This is my query. So in this query, I'll explain. Tell me. This is syntax, right? Insert into table name, values, parenthesis is syntax. But within parenthesis, I should type value 1, 2, 3, 4, ID, name, email, and phone number. Then tell me how to add this ID to this syntax, to this string, plus concatenation. What I am concatenating? ID variable, nothing but value of ID, plus concatenation. Next what? Comma. Next single quote. Do you know why single quote? It is a name. Do you know already? When you're typing SQL command, if you have a string value, you are going to keep the string value within what? Single quotes. Online people need to understand it clearly. Do you know this is start, single quote start. This is single quote end. In between single quote to single quote, what is coming here? Name. Because name must be within single quote. Why I started again single quote? Single quote start, single quote end. Why? Because email is also a string. And how can you separate one value with other value in the values? Comma. ID comma, name comma, email comma, phone number. And this is parenthesis started here for values. This is parenthesis closed. Tell me within this parenthesis, what are there? ID comma, name comma, email comma, phone. For the name and email, what are included? Single quotes. Why? Because they are strings. Now, did you guys understood the query now? Because you are typing SQL query, insert into table name, values. When you are typing any string value, you are keeping that string value within single quotes. Within single quotes. Am I clear with that? Yes. We are done. I want to conclude the class in 2 minutes. Folks, try to listen to me. Tell me, once my query is ready, I should execute this query. Okay, my question. Okay, my question. This is select or a non-select command? Non-select. Non-select means which method we should call? Execute update. Execute update. By executing this query, how many rows will be affected in the database? One record you are inserting. Na? How many rows are affected? One row will be affected. Where can you store that one? In an integer variable. If you want, I don't want. Simply stmt dot execute update of query. SOP statement record inserted. Record inserted. Record inserted. I have a question to you. What is the last statement to write? Close. What happens if I don't close? How many times I'm calling insert method? How many times I'm calling the insert? 5 times. Means how many connections are open? 5 connections are open, but connections are not closed. What if 1000 connections are open? Right? It will be a burden on the database to manage these many connections. Then database server will start responding slowly because its memory is exhausted. Suppose still, if more connections your application is creating, database or your application will crash. That's why if you are opening a connection, you must close it. Okay? Right. Of course, you'll come to know more in detail next. But currently, what statements I'm writing? Statement dot close, connection dot close. Okay? Do you know what is the problem with this code? Do you know what is the problem with this code? What is the problem with this code? Say, in which block I have written the code to close the connection? Try block. Suppose when the control is executing the try block statements, there is a mistake here, exception thrown from line number 31. What about next lines? 32, 34, 33, 34, 35. They can't be executed. If they are not executed, then tell me connection object is closed or not closed? Not closed. Don't write or don't close the connection try block. You should write the connection closing in finally block. Which block? Finally, because you know finally block will be definitely executed irrespective of the exception. Whether exception occurs or exception does not occur, which block will execute definitely? Finally block will execute. Did you guys understood the problem with this code? in my next program, I will include 3 blocks. What are the 3 blocks? Try, catch, and finally. Right now, we are only writing try and catch. I'm done. Folks in online, if you have any query, let me know in the chat box. Okay, come to the point. Again, same story. What happens if I run this program? If I run this program, again, I'm going to get exception. Which exception? Class not found exception. Because I should add the driver jar in the class path. Then tell me how to add the class path now. This is common now. For every application, we should do that. Tell me how to do for the second application also. Right click, build path, configure build path, libraries, class path, add external jars, OJDBC 11, open, apply and close. Let's run this code. I'm going to execute my program. Okay, you can see here, connection is created, statement object is created, record inserted, connection is again created, statement object is created, record inserted. Like that, how many records? 5 records. Of course, connection closed also, but I have not written that SOP message. That message is missed. Which message I should include here? Connection is closed. Okay, that's not a problem. Now, how to verify records are there or not there? Open SQL Plus. You can execute a query called what? Select star from customer. Tell me how many records I've inserted. 5 records I've inserted. You can see, you can understand like this now. Tell me what is the ID of the customer? 101. What's the name of the customer? John. What is the email of the customer? john@gmail.com and phone number, right? This is 101. This is 2, 3. You'll be having 4 and 5. Okay. We are done for today. Okay. We'll continue on Monday. Thank you. Folks in online, if you have any query, please let me know. You can unmute yourself.
Sir, I'm using Oracle 11G. I'm using Oracle 11G. In my path, I'm getting only OJDBC5, OJDB6, OJDB6 underscore G.
OJDBC6 you can add.
And how can I?
OJDBC6 you can add. OJDBC6, OJDBC11, OJDBC8, all are correct.
6, okay. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Anyone is
Sir,
okay.
here you know path of class not found exception, so you are adding. Suppose if you don't know path, how we can do that?
You have to know. You have to know, right?
Okay, sir.
How can I so that I don't know? You have to know.
Sir, how you identify which driver should we load? Because there is a different lot of drivers, no?
Every driver has a documentation. Suppose Oracle has provided a driver, right? JDBC driver, right? So then their documentation is available, na?
Okay.
Yeah, we must know through documentation only.
Sir, now it is like predefined class, it is fine. There might be user-defined classes, right? For user-defined classes become like class not found exception. In that time, what we can do?
For user-defined classes also, suppose if you are writing one class, that class is not available in the class path, but if you are writing the code, right, you will get compile time error directly. Without importing the class, you can't use that class, right?
Suppose if we are having some frameworks, sir, in that at that time we used to get this type of that.
That is there also same thing only. Only the thing is, for example, if it is user-defined class or predefined class, check out in which jar it is available, and then you need to add that jar to the class path. That's the only solution.
Sir, you created two applications, one application for data, creating database, and second application for inserting data. Is it possible to two application
You can write
interconnected?
two programs you can write in one project. One project can contain so many programs. Huh? You can.
Yeah. But you create two projects,
I have created wantedly. Wantedly, I have created to give separation. I don't want to mess up everything in one project. I want to give separate projects to get some clarity by students.
Oh. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, sir. What is the better way to handle the checked exception, by throws the exception or by using the try catch?
We need to handle it through try catch only actually.
Okay.
Okay. We should not try to throws. We should handle it by using try catch only anywhere in the real time.
Okay. But in our case, we have put all the code in only the try. Should we use, if we are using the different classes, then we have used different try and catch?
You can write multiple try catch blocks. You can write. You can define so many, right? Multiple try catch blocks you can define.
Yes. Because you have write down connection statement, all these things.
All these, I've written in one single try, but you can define. You can define multiple catch, multiple try catch blocks.
Okay. And once I say, can we do a setup like this, that our connection established one time and all the 5 insert query executed, and then we close our connection?
You can create a factory method, a static factory method separately, which can get the connection. And every time when you call the method, it should return the same connection and use that one connection to execute your queries multiple times. At the end, you can close the connection.
Factory method.
Yeah, you can write a separate class for that. You can create a separate class with a separate method, which should return the database connection, a single connection.
Okay.
Sir, why you are not giving the queries at the runtime environment when we run the program? Why you are just doing it?
I cannot explain everything in a one class. That is the answer. I have my own plan, right? I have my own plan to tell what to first tell, what to next to tell, what next to tell, what next to tell. In that way, I will tell. I will proceed with the class. Yeah.
So it will be like in the next sessions.
Yes, you are right.
Okay.